Hey guys! So sorry for this whole situation here. It's been a day and I kind of just don't care. So I might look tired because I am. Because it's a very busy week for me and I am a mom of 2 young kids. So that's what you get today. So this video is going to be about 2 things. The first thing is just me giving a little shout out and promoting a business and kind of showing you guys what I ordered from said business. So I got my order today from Creations from the Hallow, which is Drew's shop that she has with her husband, and it is Drew's YouTube channel is She Who Walks Between the Worlds, and I will leave links to her channel and her shop. But without further ado, I ordered on Friday and it came today, which is insanely fast shipping for one. It's awesome. Her shop's in North Carolina and I'm in Minneapolis, so that's pretty awesome. But yeah, so there are several things here. First of all, business card. So she has these series of candles that are for specific intentions, and I got the ones for dreams and visions because I have been kind of wanting to kind of amp up my ability to lucid dream and my ability to get spiritual messages through my dreams. So that's why I got these. But yes, they are awesome and they smell good. And then she put a ton of herbs inside the package, so I bottled them up. And then she was super sweet and gave me a thank you amethyst. I can always use more amethyst, especially for what I'm trying to do here. And then I also got a prosperity charm, which I thought was really cool. So, I could always use more prosperity in my life too, huh? Right? So, thank you, Drew, and I love it. It's awesome. I will definitely be getting more candles in the future. There's a few that I also wanted to purchase, but I figured we'll just start simple, so. But yes, Creations from the Hallow. I will leave links. Why are you not focusing? That's going to be the still that YouTube chooses, is that face I just made. Go figure. Anyway. But, okay, so the next part of this video is going to be kind of a rant about why I revere nature and how I got here. So it's probably going to be a little bit rambly because you know me, I wing it and I never script anything and I never edit anything and I'm just the best. But I was thinking about this today because I am going to be taking my sons camping in about a week and a half, and I'm super excited about camping and spending time in nature because the last time I went camping was actually just this last September, right around now. I went camping up in the North Cascades National Park in Washington and visited my family and all that jazz too. So, and I just remember walking through the forest and looking up at the huge, massive trees and just feeling so at peace, in awe, and so powerful. And it just was a really fun trip. And I've spent a lot of my time in the Cascades, so I have just a love for that part of the country. Anyway, obviously being from Washington, there's like a cat fur that's tickling my nose every single time. So, but we are obviously not flying out to Washington for this camping trip. We'll be going down to another state park in southern Minnesota, which I have not been to yet, and I'm very excited to go to. And aside from the fact that I am bringing 2 young toddlers camping, wish me luck, guys. Hey, we did it last year. Oh, now there's something in my eye. Go figure. See, this is why editing videos might be good. But, I'm just thrilled to be camping again, and it's also just because of a nostalgia thing. I mean, my family took me camping all over Washington, all over Idaho, all over Montana, all over Utah, Oregon, a little bit California when I was a kid, so, but I think that had a large hand in what became my spiritual beliefs, and I think it also was where I grew up. If you've ever been to Washington State, there's just something about the land there. It's very spiritual. And I remember once when I was in high school, I watched a documentary on ley lines, and they said that theoretically ley lines, there's a large concentration of them in Washington State. So, and there's a lot of theories on why Washington State feels so spiritual. There's a lot of legends as well. So it's it just has a powerful presence. Oh, I might not be able to words properly. Ugh, I hope I can do this well. But I'm gonna fix something really quick, computer. There we go. But so I really do think that had a large hand in how I got to where I am. But as far as the why do I revere nature, and how do I revere nature, and how I came to revere nature, why I do so is because in moments like that where I'm walking through the trails in the North Cascades and I'm staring at these massive trees towering over me, and I'm just surrounded by just everything that is, you can't ignore it. And I remember once, my brother-in-law, and I've mentioned him before, he's very Christian, but he's very open-minded. We were having a discussion one night, and he had said that there are many camping trips he's been on too, and he said that sitting on the top of a mountain or sitting in the middle of forest, he feels what I feel. And he said, I get it. I get why you revere nature. And he said, just in my case, I just call it God or God's work. But for me, it is everything and nothing, and it is all interwoven, and it is so much more than we ever could be. I mean, even though we're part of it. And it was Carl Sagan once that had said, we are all made of stardust. And that is another thing that, even though Sagan was very analytical, that quote always resonated with me in the sense of the bigger picture and how we are connected, I think, more than we can even begin to understand. And it's that presence that I feel when I am in nature. And even in times where I can't go hit trails up around here, or I'm not in Washington, I have a very large ash tree in my backyard, and I love that tree so much. So sometimes I will just have to be near it so I can feel its presence and listen to the wind through the leaves, or listen to the rain falling outside. It's those little things that I think are detrimental to the core of myself as who I am too. So it's strange because it's big and it's small. So I suppose that answers the why. The how is mostly integrated in my craft as a witch, but also my belief as a pagan, because witchcraft and paganism are two different things. Most pagans are witches, but not all witches are pagan. So for me, I am pagan because of this connection that I have to nature. And I've had it since I was a kid. I've always felt it. And when I found paganism, I think I was about 15, everything started to make sense. And it just continued to make more and more sense as I went further down this path. And I have not looked back. I have not strayed. I'm 32. So I think this is just going to be me for the rest of my life, which I'm perfectly happy with. But oh, I'm sorry, my allergies are awful. Here I'm talking about how awesome nature is, and it's making me sneeze. But, you know, such is life. But I'm trying to catch my train of thought here because it's slowly derailing. The how is, I mean, it's observing the changing of the seasons, which is something that I view very sacred, because even if I'm going into a season that I don't particularly care for instance, like summer, I hate being hot. I love cuddling under blankets. But even so, every single time a season changes, I'm just happy it changes. I'm happy the seasons change because we need that, and change is the only consistency in life. So that in itself, it's so important. And there's just something to be said about, as I said, walking through the trails and staring at these large trees above you, or sitting in the dark under the stars, and there are so many stars that you can't even see them all. You can't even fathom them all. It's intoxicating, it's intimidating, and it's incredible. So it's just the fact that I have taken the time to notice these things, and I can't help but notice these things. And not everybody does. I mean, we go about our day-to-day lives and we just get sucked into mundane, or monotony rather, but I can't do that all the time. I have to be among the things that remind me of the bigger picture, because I think it's who I am to the core, and I think that is why I became pagan. And, you know, the other part of why I became pagan is to find self-empowerment and to heal from a lot. So, and that continues. That will always continue. But that's not the point of this video. So, I don't know, I'm just kind of having this, like, nature-y rant, and we have all come to that point where we try to define our path, and I think the thing is it can be defined to a degree, but not fully, because, as I've said before, you ask 10 different pagans the same question, you're going to get 10 different answers. Everything resonates differently for everybody. But I do think that one thing is consistent between most pagans is that reverence for nature, that awe of it, that recognition of the bigger picture, the realization that we are a small thread in a large, large tapestry that is the universe. So, and I want to spend more time focusing on that. I want to spend more time learning about that potential within me and outward, and the outside influences. So I hope maybe this can be inspiring to others as well. And I kind of, again, here I am opening the floor. I love doing this. But I'm kind of hoping that I can get everybody else in the discussion of this. Why do you revere nature? How do you revere nature? How did you come to revere nature? What are your thoughts and feelings and musings about revering nature? Talk to me about it, guys. I want to know. This is something that has been on my mind a lot lately. And sorry, I'm opening up the program that's got my webcam so I can stop the video when I'm ready. But I want to know, I want to know this because I do think this is a large core to what makes our beliefs. It's a foundation for it in a lot of ways. And this might not ring true completely to everybody, but it does seem to be a very common ground, I could say. So talk to me about it, guys. I want to know. There. Blessed be.